Alex, go ahead.
Thank you, Matt. Can I get your comments on some of the comments that Putin made today, particularly him talking about U.S. support for Ukraine, saying that gradually it's quote-unquote running out. How concerned are you by the fact that delaying aid to Ukraine might have appeared to have encouraged Putin, and even worse, have emboldened their actions in Ukraine, given the latest attacks?
Let me say a few things about that. So number one, I think what President Putin confirmed today was that despite his military suffering hundreds of thousands of casualties, despite the crippling of the Russian economy, despite isolating Russia internationally and making himself an international pariah as a result of this conflict, his war aims have not changed in any way. He still wishes to conquer Ukraine. He still wishes to subjugate Ukraine. And nothing that he set out to accomplish in this campaign has he given up on, despite the fact that his army has been rolled back from their initial objectives, despite the fact that, as I said, they've suffered a multitude of battlefield defeats. He still has all the same war aims that he had from the beginning. The second thing I'll say is that you heard President Putin, I believe for the first time, confirm something that we have said. You have heard us say from the beginning of this campaign that Vladimir Putin's bet was that he could outlast the West, and that the West would weaken, the West would stop supporting Ukraine, and that Russia would still be there ready to fight, and he just had to outlast us. We have said that from the beginning, that was his assessment, but I don't believe that until today he had actually ever come out and said it. And so what I will say is, for the part of this administration, we have made clear that we believe that bet is wrong. And we believe that he will not outlast the West, and he will not outlast the United States of America. And now it's up for the United States Congress to prove that that bet is wrong.
Thank you. Separate topic. Any comment on
this?
Yeah, go ahead.
President Putin has said too that he is ready to build relations with the U.S. And the European Union too, and added that the U.S. is an important and necessary country on the world stage, which is why Russia is prepared for talks when conditions are met. Are you prepared for talks with Russia?
Let me say a few things. Number one, if he really wanted to repair relations with the United States or other countries in the West, I will say with respect to the United States, he could start by releasing the Americans that he has wrongfully detained. We put significant proposals on the table, and he has refused to release those Americans, which never should have been detained in the first place. The second thing that he could do would be to withdraw his military from Ukraine and respect Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty. The final thing I will say is with respect to ultimate negotiations, which I think maybe is what this question is getting at, to the future of Ukraine. As we have said before, that is a decision for Ukraine to make about if and when there are negotiations, about how to end the war. But despite President Putin's claims today about wanting to improve relations, he has shown no ability or no willingness to actually negotiate. And in fact, as I said a moment ago, just reaffirmed today that his aims for the results of this conflict have not changed in any way, shape, or form. And Alex, go back to just only because Alex got interrupted. I'll come to you. Allowed himself to be interrupted.
I appreciate that. On Iran, may I get a reaction to reporting that Iran has accessed $10 billion that it has received under sanctions waiver? Are you in a position to confirm or deny those reports?
I am not. Go ahead.